Right, hello lads and lasses, and welcome back to Boys Down Under, where today we're covering all of the things from Celtic's 2-1 win over Aberdeen in the Scottish Premiership, and we have finally won away. How good does it feel? Look, before we get into the video though, please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. Everything helps and helps support this channel, and it's great to see more of you people coming on, watching and enjoying, and yeah, just being involved with the channel. It's great. I don't know what more else to say, so without further ado, let's get into it. So, look, 3 points. 3 points is 3 points. You can't be disappointed with 3 points. I said in the preview video I made, look, I'll take 3 points however way possible, whether that be 1-0, a late winner, a scrappy game where we didn't deserve to win, but we somehow won, any of those quite things. And am I happy? Yeah. I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm overjoyed. I'm in a mix between happy and content because it was a poor game. We all know it was quite a poor game from Celtic, and it took a George Michael tap in to save us. And look, it's a vital 3 points, but we have to remember that didn't come very easily. That honestly was quite a struggle to get that 3 points. So right now, a lot of people and myself, you're leaning to the side of saying, oh look, it's just paper over the cracks, which in ways it is, but we'll cover this also. I've got quite a few points to talk about from the game, just some key points that I think is needed to be discussed. Drop a comment below if you think there's other points that you want to talk about, or if you disagree or agree with what I say. So yeah, look, let's get into it. So the first point I want to make, and this one I think is the most obvious and clear point to everyone who watched the match, Celtic lacked an attacking threat or penetration throughout the whole game until Tom Rogic came on. Now, throughout the game, I think the stat was our only shot on target till Tom Rogic came on was Kyogo's goal. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And honestly, it was Kyogo's goal, right? And honestly, it was obvious. It was so obvious that Celtic were able to hold a fair amount of possession. We weren't holding the bulk of it like we normally do, but it was a fair amount. But you could see once we get up the field, once it got to Turnbull, Jota, Abada, Kyogo, they just couldn't take it that extra step. They couldn't find the fit end product to put it a shot on goal or to trouble the goalkeeper. Yeah. We had a couple chances, near baton, headers up wide, that should be a goal. Jota hits the crossbar with another long-range finesse. That was absolutely, got me out of my seat. But look, I think that was the problem, and I think it was a very proactive decision from Ange to bring on Tom Rogic later into the match. I think Rogic should have started, but I think it was a proactive decision to realise he had to bring him on. And I think that's a decision most managers would make, but still, it's one he should be applauded for because he brought him on and he made the difference. The reason Celtic scored is because of Tom Rogic. He played that very, very precise through ball into Monty, who was able to square it across goal for Jota to tap it in. And look, I think that's a testament to show a lot of people don't like Tom Rogic starting matches. They say he's lazy. They say he hasn't got a final pass, but you look at all the matches Celtic have played, every single one this season. When Tom Rogic has played, Celtic have had chances on goal. Do we finish them? Not all the time, but have we had the chances? Yes. In this game, we didn't have a single chance except for Kyogo's goal, which was a wonderful ball from David Turnbull. And we didn't have a single chance till Tom Rogic came on, and he was the one who unlocked the Aberdeen defence, who were very organised at the time. And I think it's a testament to how important Tom Rogic is to this team. We tried to sell him. I think a lot of people remember, or maybe you're not, Celtic actually he was linked to signing for some Qatari outfit, I think it was, for just for retirement, basically. And he decided to stick it out at Celtic and try and fight for his place. And honestly, it's paid off so much for both the club and for him. And yeah, I think that's the main point. Rogic needs to start every single match he can for Celtic, because without his just wonderful ability on the ball, his unplayable ability on the ball, Celtic look so flat in attack, more than usual. All right. At that point, into the second point, the defense. Now, the defense is a real issue, and that's another point, that's the other big talking point from the game that I think Celtic need to address, or Ange specifically, because The problem is not going to be solved by Chris Julian. I'm a big believer in Chris Julian. I think once he's fit and ready to go 100%, he should be partnering Cameron Carter-Vickers at centre-back. But look, it's not all going to stem from Chris Julian. It stems from the wing backs as well. I think Celtic look very, very vulnerable on counter-attacks, and that's because the wingers are so high up the field, they don't have time to get back, and it leaves Starfelt and Cameron Carter-Vickers at the moment to deal with that. And right now they have got pretty poor communication between each other, so it leaves a lot of gaps, and it leaves Joe Hart extremely vulnerable between the sticks. So the problem with the wing backs, it's that Ange plays. Now this isn't to say, oh yeah, Ralston and Monty are terrible wing backs. Look, Monty's a bit skint, but that's because he's just going to grow. Ralston, he's a bit slow getting back, but the problem is because they're so high up the field. When Celtic get counter-attacked, it's because either McGregor, Turnbull, or the two wing-backs who have pushed forward have lost the ball, and they don't have enough time to get back. And because Ange plays inverted fullbacks, it usually leaves both Monty and Ralston, so they'll be sitting pretty much in a line with the McGregor in front of Starfelt and Carter-Vickers. So when teams counter-attack Celtic, they're able to just run down that wing, drag one of those centre-backs out, and that just leaves Celtic so skint. It leaves either Carter-Vickers, Starfelt, and one of the wing-backs who have tracked back well enough to defend maybe a 3-on-2 or a 4-on-2, 2-on-1, whatever it is. And it just leaves Celtic so skint. And also, it leads to set pieces. And Celtic defensively from set pieces, we're not as bad as last year, but it is still really, really poor. A lot of goals Celtic have conceded this year from set pieces. There was the derby, Hollander's goal in the derby. You had the goal last night. I can't remember who scored that. But look, last night's goal, it probably shouldn't have gone in. Monty should never be on the front post. It should be someone 100% taller than him. I don't know why Monty, the smallest kid, is there. He should be probably marking outside of the box. It should be someone like, I don't even know. But look, end of the day, Ange needs to address the defense. It won't be fixed by just Julien. Do I think the wing backs need to be changed? I reckon Scales 100% deserves a shot at left back. I don't know why Ange hasn't been playing him. And at right back, we'll just have to assess the situation after the break when Juranovic returns to fitness. It will be, it's going to be interesting. All right, third point to talk about. Callum McGregor, Captain Cam, awfully quiet. He had an awfully quiet night until he got moved back to CDM and Rogic's inclusion, which allowed for Baton's exclusion. A lot of rhyming. Anyways, look, I think the problem is with McGregor. A lot of people know he has attacking qualities. I know he has attacking qualities. My dad's one of them as well. I don't know if he's going to watch this or if he's hearing me right now, but he's a big believer in McGregor playing further upfield. And it just didn't work last night. McGregor, I don't remember him getting a touch of the ball until he played CDM, which he just controlled it all. When he moved back to CDM, he controlled that midfield 100%. He controlled it. But when he was in that centre mid box to box role, he got quite a bit lost. And I don't know if that's because he hasn't played there in so long, or if he just doesn't have that communication with Near Baton as a CDM. But whatever it is, I don't think that's his position. I think it was good Rogic got a break, but I think after the international break, it has to be a triangle of Rogic, Turnbull, McGregor. Those three have to be the midfield. If one of them gets injured, I don't know what happens then. But look, I think Near Baton, this isn't to me criticising Near Baton. I don't know why anyone would think that, but I thought he did okay. He did well enough as to start CDM after not playing so many matches, but I do feel it has to be McGregor in that role. Turnbull moving back a bit because you need McGregor playing at his best for Celtic to win, which we saw his best of the match at CDM. And then we also need Tommy Rogic on the field, which means Baton has to be absent from the midfield. Tommy Rogic has to be there. If he's not there, like I touched on earlier, Celtic don't score goals unless it's magic. Right, fourth point. Kyogo Furuhashi. He has proved again his quality and his valuableness. I suck at English. I don't know the word, but nonetheless, it's his class. And he has two aspects of his game show us three aspects. Three aspects, all right? So the first aspect is his movement. I touched on this in the preview, but Kyogo's movement is second to none in this Celtic team. Literally, that first goal would not happen if Albion Ajeti was up striker. It would not, maybe Giacomakis, I don't know. But Albion Ajeti would not score that. Kyogo always will score that. And the fact that he didn't use his head, he used his chest, shows his quality. That ball from Turnbull, amazing. It was literally pinpoint accurate. It took the keeper out of the equation. The keeper probably should have done better, but it took him out of the equation nonetheless. And it allowed Kyogo to just chest it into the back of the net. And his movement got him there. It was his hidden runs. They're just so good. And I think the reason why he didn't get so many passes played into him for the rest of the match was, as I touched on earlier, it all stems from Tom Rogic. I think if Tom Rogic plays, Kyogo gets a lot more service in that match. And I think he scores a lot more goals. But it's great to see him back on the score sheet. And it's great to see his movement dragging out defenders and just allowing more space for the other players around him. It's a very selfless... Not selfless, it's very good for the team. He's a team player, 110%. Now, his second quality is his defense. In defense, Kyogo is a workhorse. You could literally play him at CDM. He works that easy, you couldn't, but you know what I mean. He works that hard in his pressing game. The amount of times the goalkeeper was under pressure from Kyogo was immense. He almost got a deflection into the back of the net. He intercepted a couple passes around them when Aberdeen were playing around the back. His pressing game of the wing backs. And it all stems from not only his fitness, but his pace. Ajeti, he's got good fitness. He can press well, but he hasn't got the pace to trouble defenders. And you look at Kyogo when he does it, just not, probably majority of the time, when Kyogo presses someone, the pass they play out is generally a poor one because they've got such little time to react to Kyogo's immense and incoming runs that they just can't do anything with it. They have to just boot it away. And it helps the Celtic team so much because the opposition loses possession. It's just, Kyogo is such a class footballer. I just can't believe what a gem he was. What a find he was from Ange Postecoglou from the J-League. And I'm sure there'll be more in January, which I'll touch on in a video later. But nonetheless, still class from Kyogo. And also his diversity. He can play on the wing, he can play on attack. We saw that. We saw Abada coming off and Ajeti coming on into the match. Kyogo got moved out to the left wing then. Obviously, he was very quiet there. He doesn't really have the drive that Jota does on the wing, but still, nonetheless, his ability to play two positions is very helpful for Ange in allowing other players to be given rests and not having to play other players out of position. Pardon me. Nonetheless. Anyways, I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, Kyogo, class as always. I honestly think it's so much better having him in this team, not just because of the goals he can score in the movement, but because of his defensive and pressing qualities as well. And once we get, after the international break, once we have, Tommy Rogic in that cam role, well, we always did, but once we have a game of Tommy Rogic in that cam role and Kyogo, he'll get so much more service, so many more chances at goal, because I think that was his only good chance at goal, that one goal he scored, and he took it. So 100% conversion rate in that match. Happy days, I guess. And look, to sum up, I think I've talked about what I need to talk about. If there's anything else you guys want me to talk about or you want to talk about, drop it in the comments. To sum up, 3 points. We got what we needed. We didn't drop any more points. It just keeps us in touch with those top teams. Well, Celtic are a top team, but the teams ahead of us on the ladder. Look, the pressure is off Ange's back for now. Look, was it paper over the cracks? Potentially, we'll have to see how it goes after the international break with other players returning from injury like Juranovic and Julien. But fingers crossed, going into the international break, the boys stay fit, they stay safe, and they stay healthy because I don't want this a repeat of last international window when in the last match, Kyogo goes out for 3-4 weeks. We can't be affording that to happen. Hopefully from here on in, fingers crossed, everyone stays fit and well. But that is all from me. So, look, 3 points, 2-1 win. International break. I'll try and keep the content up. I'll maybe do it one video every 2 days. Just talking about things that, I don't know, just talking about things, I guess. Drop a comment if you want to see any specific videos in this international break. Remember to subscribe. But until next time, hail, hail.